Welcome to Batforts. We will now go down to one of the secret military forts which has been rebuilt for bats. Here they are overwintering. My name is Tom Arnblom and I'm working for WWF in Sweden. So I'm just now standing outside one of the Batforts. It is a rebuilt old military fort which has been abandoned for a long time ago. And the military is just now closing down many of their old forts because it's in a security problem. If someone goes in and gets a stone in the head, who's responsible for that? So they're putting concrete and nobody should be able to get in there again. But by accident a few years ago we found out there were lots of bats inside these abandoned military forts, and therefore we had a collaboration with the military, the fortification agency, the commune who's working here, bat scientists and WWF. And from now on this is living bat forts. And here's one of the secret doors going into the fort. But you see the toe holes beside the big door? That's where the bats go in. So I'm just now heading into the bat fort. It's pretty dark here, as you can see. And it's we go in one of these underground tunnels, and here's a rail where they had the guns on before. This was a defense system for stopping any intruders coming into the Stockholm by the water. So there were at least 3 cannons here before. So the bats are living outside in summertime, but here in the winter they come in to overwinter. The reason is because there is nothing to eat in Sweden in the winter for our bats, because they all live on insects, and when there's minus 20 and snow, there's no doubt there are no insects at all in this area. Oh, here we found a bat. That's one. And this is probably a water bat. Oh, here's another bat. And here they will stay until April approximately. So we'll go in September, October, and then they stay and sleep here. That's one way to conserve energy, so they lower down their metabolism, and so they don't spend any energy at low. So they have a very low heartbeat and the body temperature goes down a lot. So far today we found, I think, about 4 or 5 species of different bats here, and that's pretty good to be in Sweden, where we only have 19 species. In the world there are more than 1,000 species of bats, and there are quite numerous, I would say, in many areas. But here in Sweden they eat insects, while in other parts of the world there are fruit-eating bats, or fish-eating bats, and even there are 3 species of vampires. But those we won't find here in Sweden. They only exist in South America. But we have found several times some really rare bats inside this fort, and altogether we found 8 species here, and that's pretty good to be this part of the world. But there are not only bats overwintering here. There are butterflies, moths, and there are of course lots of spiders. This is the view out from the bat fort, and this is one out of our 25 military forts which has now been rebuilt into bat forts. And it's just a start. We hope there will be many more, because there are thousands of military forts in Sweden.